Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashi, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So we got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the ark and pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Awad who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. Mazai from GMS Solano Camp coming into another lesson. In truth, facts, faith, and edification, another day of edification, Lord willing, let's be edifying. I titled this lesson, Yahawashi is coming back to take the earth violently. Yahawashi is coming to take the earth with violence. And Lord willing, be edifying. And first, before I start this lesson, I want to make mention of a lesson that I did probably like 8-9 months ago, and it was titled "Bugged Out Demon" on my comment board, and it was this guy talking about Job. Well, I had to leave the video because I had forgotten to mention it in the video when I was doing the lesson, because I mentioned Apostle Hall had went into it about Job. You know, when we go and read Genesis 4:6-13, when they tell you that Job was one of the sons of Issachar. Well, you know, as the apostle has said, you know, we can't, you know, it's kind of like speculation because it don't give you like the whole breakdown of Job, that Job, right? The Job that's in the book of Job, you know, we can't really pinpoint if that's the same Job in the book of Genesis 4:6-13, when they tell you that Issachar was the son of Job. I mean, Job was the son of Issachar. So Elder Apostle Rumlaw had on the it's crazy how the video had popped up a couple days ago, and Elder Apostle Rumlaw had sent me a message, and he was like Shalom. He was like, you know, we know Job was an Israelite, but we don't know, we don't actually know if that's the same Job that's in Genesis 4:6-13. And when I did the lesson, because the guy was talking about Job, he know Job wasn't an Edomite, but he wasn't no Israelite, right? So that's not went through the whole thing, you know, went to Genesis and going through how Issachar was born, and that Job that's in Genesis 4:6-13, you know, we was linking that with the same Job that's in the book of Job, right? Because it said Job was one of the sons of Issachar. Well, you know, and I had saw Pastor Ha do this video years ago, and he was like, we don't know, we can't pinpoint that that's the same Job. Even though even though the Bible only mentions one Job, you know, you still can't really pinpoint if that's the same Job. So, and I was asking the apostle, should I just take the video down? And he was just like, just do a correction video. So what I did was just took the video down, you know, going back and forth with this one guy, because he was talking about if Job, why would Job let his father starve? And I went through the whole breakdown in the lesson how Jacob and his sons went into Egypt with their kids and their wives and everything that they had, cattle, whatever. So I just want to make mention of that before I do this lesson. I took the video down anyway because the apostle was like, you know, I can leave it up, just do a correction video. So I'm just correcting that because, you know, as apostle, I saw apostle did it years ago, and I meant to mention in the video that now we don't know if it's the same Job or not, but it slipped my mind. So that was the spirit of Yahawashi Shah that Elder Apostle Ramlaw, he saw the video and he hit me up a couple days ago and told me to just do a correction video. So I took it down, but I'm still making the correction anyway because we don't know. The book only mentioned one Job, but we don't know if that's the same Job. So anyway, so I was meditating on this topic. Hey, Yahawashi is violently coming back to destroy these devils, man. He's coming back violently to take the earth, man. And I was watching it was a couple years ago, and I was telling the brothers about it. I was watching uh the Roman Catholic Church and their crude instruments that they use to torture Israelites, man. And it's another one called Spanish Inquisition. And them devils use some real, I'm talking about some deadly instruments, man, to torture Israelites. So I was thinking about this last night, the plantation, and I was like, I'm gonna do a lesson on this. These devils that did some wicked things to us, man, and they use some wicked instruments to torture Israelites. And when you go to YouTube, you can type it in Spanish Inquisition, and you could. It's like a 2-3 hour video, man. It, it'll make you if you can't stomach it, it'll make you throw up, man. Because these devils use some some real harsh instruments of judgment, man, to torture Israelites, man. Then you got slavery, man. The things that they did in slavery, man. The rape, rob, murder, pillage, and plunder, and the instruments the cruelty that they was thinking of, man. How they took 13 jakes and hung them up at a time, man. When you look, they took 13 Issacharites, Gadites, Reubenites, and they was hanging them up 13 at a time, man. Because they were using the number 13 for Jesus Christos and the 12 disciples, man. Because they said they came over here in the name of Christianity, in the name of Jesus Christos. So they was hanging them up 13 at a time and putting a fire up on them, man. Basically, they was roasting, slow cooking, man. That's what these devils were doing, man. So I was just meditating on how the Lord is going to come back and take this place violently, man. Because this devil did it the same way, man. These devils came over here, these conquistadors and Spaniards, they came over here violently, man. They came to Jerusalem 70 AD violently, man. These devils, Antiochus Epiphanes, hey, violently, man, how they did things. And that's what the scriptures say, it was Isaiah 51, our heart shall meditate terror, man. Because that's the spirit of Yahawashi Mawashai. These devils have wickedly taken the earth, man. That's why I say in Ecclesiastes 10, man, for unrighteous dealings, man. So I'm going to start here in Matthew 11:12. And it reads, I was thinking about this last night, the plantation. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven, which is you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, it said the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, right? It say, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Well, who is the violent? The scripture tell you that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the violent. Again, my lesson is based from this precept, Matthew 11:12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. We suffered violence, man. From who? From the violent man. So this is Psalms. The kingdom of heaven is you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, right? Matter of fact, let me get that. Yahawashi, when the Pharisees and the Sadducees asked Yahawashi about the kingdom of heaven coming, he said the kingdom of heaven comes not with observation, for it is in you, right? Because you Israelites are the kingdom of heaven. And here's proof. This Deuteronomy 32:1, give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Well, the Lord talking to you Israelites. He said, give ear, O ye heavens, talking to you Israelites. So when it said in Matthew 11:12, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Who took it? These devils. So this is Psalms 140 and 1. It reads, deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. You see, from the violent man. Who? Esau, Edom, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent's. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. They say, keep me, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. So these devils, so they say the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. It's talking about Esau Edom, right? Now this is Psalms 71, dealing with the violent man, right? This is Psalms 71 in verse 10. It reads, for my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, power have forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. So these devils knew, as you when you go into the book of Judith, it tell you how these devils, how this one guy was telling his master, as long as their power is with them, there's nothing you can do. But if their power forsake them, right here, it say, this is Judith 5 in verse, let's start at 17. This Judith 5 and 17, it say, and whilst they sin not before their power, they prospered, because the power that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore. It say, and were led captive into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. You see, enemies, not just one nation, all nations conquered us, man. It said, but now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Not therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So these nations knew, man. They knew when Yahawashi Shemawashah was in the midst of Israel, man, you had a problem. Well, as it said, I just read in Psalm 71. Let's read this again. See, these devils knew, man. They had a time that they can take us. Psalm 71 and 10. For my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, right? Start first and foremost, Esau, Edom, and other heathens, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. So them devils knew that they had a chance to put their hand on us, right? This is Psalm 74. In verse 2, it reads, remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion wherein thou hast dwelt. Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy have done wickedly, in the sanctuary. Thy enemies roar in the midst of thy congregation. They set up their ensigns for signs. It say verse 7, they have cast fire into thy sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together, the Israelites. They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land. It say verse 10, O power, Yahawashi, how long shall the adversary reproach? Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever? And when you go into Ezekiel 35, and it's also in Revelation 13 and 5, how the Lord said he gave him a mouth to blaspheme, right? This is verse 18, Psalm 74 and 18. Remember this, that the enemy have reproached, O Yahweh, and that the foolish people has blasphemed thy name. It says, verse 23, forget not the voice of thy enemies, and tumult of those that rise up against thee increaseth continually. Now here's in Psalm 79 and 1. That's how we know who we're dealing with, man. The same one that's still in the land today, man. These are the violent men. Psalm 79 and 1, they say, O power, the heathen are coming to thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of heaven, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. We are becoming reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. How long, Yahweh, would thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? You see, so these devils took the nation of Israel, took the land by violence. Oh, let me get this. This is Job 20 and 19. And it reads, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he, who Esau, even the so-called white man, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not, man. So Yahawashi is coming back to take the earth with violence, man. And that's why when you watch that movie 300, this guy came up to Leonidas and he held up all the crowns, all the heads with the crowns of these kings that Xerxes had conquered, man. Well, that's Yahawashi, man. He's coming back violently to take the earth, man. And to tell you that in Daniel, what that Daniel 8 and 17, that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, man. Yahawashi is coming back violently to take this earth back, man. And these devils, they came violently, man. And they still coming violent, man. Passing their laws, man. Their wicked decrees to continue to further their wickedness, man. It said, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are the poor, man. It say, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not, man. These devils came over here, conquered our brothers, and set up a landmark, man. And the scripture say you don't supposed to remove landmarks. Well, they did that, man. That's why these devils got to be destroyed, man. Violently, man. This is and hey, the Lord did a number on us, man. But you know what? He's raising us up now, man. It's Lamentations 2 and 1. How have the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto earth the beauty of Israel? And you can read about the beauty of Israel with that Ezekiel 16, man. Ezekiel 16. You can read about the beauty of Israel, man. The Lord said he raised us up, put a crown on us, right? Put a chain about our neck and a bracelet on our arm, and decked us out, man. It say, and remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord, Yahweh Shema shall have swallowed up all the habitation of Jacob, and have not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He have polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof, man. Because when Yahawashi was with us, man, nobody can take down the nation of Israel, man. Nobody, man. Hey, but the moment we went to being wicked, man, worshiping other gods, following heathen customs, man, you got Jake today still trying to teach the truth with dreads, man. Heathen customs, man. Heathen customs, man. Jake still wanna, man, want to still smoke weed and do all manners of wickedness and talking about they teaching the truth, man. Show you how the Lord got a bugged out spirit on Jake, man. Said verse 3, he have cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel. It say all the horn of Israel. He have drawn back. Horn represents power, man. It say he have cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel, man. He have drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire which devours round about. And to tell you in the book of Judges, was that Judges 2 and 14, it said the Lord was hot with Israel, man. Therefore, he gave us to the hand, he sold us to the enemy, man. And that's why the scriptures say, ye have sold yourselves for naught, man. He have bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary and slew all that were pleasant to the eye. What's pleasant to the eye? That's your apple, man. You know, Jake, brother got ribs. Hey, you got a rib that you, hey, that's pleasant to your eye, man. The Lord told Ezekiel, I'm gonna take away the desire of thy eyes, which was his wife, man. He said he gonna take away, he told Ezekiel, I'm gonna kill your wife with a stroke, and you better not cry about it, man. The Lord cold, man. It say he had bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury. It say everything that was pleasant in the eyes of the Lord, he slew it, man. That's how cold the Lord is, man. It say he poured out his fury like fire. The Lord, Yahweh Shemawashai, was an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. And to tell you this in Hosea 8 and 8, it said Israel is swallowed up. Now should they be among the Gentile as a vessel wherein is no pleasure, man. Jacob was destroyed, man. He have destroyed his strongholds and have increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. And that's why I said in Ezekiel, man. Ezekiel 2, lamentations, mourning, and woes, man. There's only one way out of here, man. It said he have violently, listen, and he have violently taken away his tabernacle, man. The Lord violently did this. You think it's Esau Edom that violently took us? No, man. The Lord say he removed his hand. Hey, the same way the angels is holding back, they said the angels holding back the four winds of destruction till the leg gets sealed. It's the same way, man. The same way the Lord, when you read in Psalm 73 and 5, when they say, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. That's the same way, man. The Lord got a covering on these devils. You can't do nothing to them, man. It's not our lot to do nothing to these devils. The Lord got a special judgment for Esau Edom, man. Okay? He put that violent spirit in these devils. It's a Lamentations 2 and 6. He who Yahweh have violently taken away his tabernacle as if it were of a garden. He have destroyed his places of the assembly. The Lord have caused the solemn feasts and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and have despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest. Hey, what it say? So as the king, the common person, man, right? As the king suffered, so is the common prophet. Got what precept that is. It says the king suffered, so is the common person, man. I think it's in Job, if I'm mistaken. So it's a and have despised in his indignation of his anger the king and the priest. The Lord have cast off his altar. He have abhorred his sanctuary. He have given up into the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Lord as in the day of a solemn feast. The Lord have proposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He have stretched out a line. He have not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore, he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languished together. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her kings and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silent. They have cast up dust upon their heads. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground. Hey, the Lord did a number on us, man. It say, my eyes do fail with tears. My bowels are troubled. My liver is poured out. My liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon in the streets of the city. They say to their mothers, where is corn and wine? When they swoon as the wounded in the streets of the city, when their souls were poured out into their mother's bosom. What things shall I take to witness for thee? What things shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great, like the sea. Who can heal it? There is no healing, man. Well, to tell you that Yahawashi is coming with healing in his wings, man. It said, thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thy iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and cause of banishment. Hey, the Lord say, who can heal thee? In Jeremiah 30, it tell you that our wound is grievous, man. Our wound is incurable, right? It say, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty? And that's when they look at us today, man. Is these them? These the Israelites? These the Lord chosen people? Look at them. Why they like this? Vocab Malone scoffing at us, man. But it's okay. Because this is coming to an end, man. Hey, we about to go home soon, man. It's a, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty? The joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. Hey, because the Lord did it, man. Is he gonna tell you what is that? Ezekiel 39, the Lord say, the heathen shall know on that day, man, that Israel went into captivity because they sinned against me. It had nothing to do with you. So the Lord lets you violently take the nation of Israel, man. And Yahawashi is violently coming back to take us back, man. Violently, man. It said the Lord, verse 17, the Lord hath done that which he hath devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he hath commanded in the days of old, which is in what? In Deuteronomy. In Leviticus 26, he said, in Leviticus 26:33, he said, I'm going to scatter you among the heathen, and I'm going to send a sword after you, man. It say the Lord, Yahweh Shemawashai, have done that which he had devised. He have fulfilled his words that he have commanded. It say in the days of old, he have thrown down and have not pitied, and he have caused the enemy to reproach over thee. He have set up the horn of thine adversaries. The Lord set them up, man. This is verse 21. It reads, it said, the young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. You see, thou hast called as in a solemn day my terrors round about. So in the day, of the Lord's anger, none escaped nor remained. Those that I have swallowed and brought up have my enemies consumed. Swallowed meaning I can tell you how Yahawashi was wrapped in swaddling clothes, right? It say those that I have swallowed and brought up have my enemy consumed, man. The Lord said he nourished the swallow, being nourished up with discipline, man. Right? This is Second Ezra 2:1. It reads, Thus saith the Lord, I brought these people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by men servants, the prophets, by men servants, the prophets, not women servants, by men servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsel. The mother that bare them said unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. Who is the mother? Jerusalem, Israel. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For ye have sinned before the Lord your God, and done that thing that is evil before him. But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of the Lord. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant. The land, man, our inheritance. It's a that thou bring them to confusion and their mother to a spoil, that there may be no offspring of them. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. And our name was put out. It tell you in Lamentations 4, man. We are not known in the streets, man. We are not known. That's why we are known as heathens, man. That's why you got these devils. This nigga TDJ talking about we all these junk food babies. We all Gentiles. We all Abraham's seed. No, we not, nigga. But as it said in Hosea 1 and 10, man, in the place where it was said unto them, You are not my children, there shall be said to you, You are the sons of the living power, man. See, we was forsaken. He told Jeremiah in Jeremiah 17 and 4, even thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage. And Jeremiah did what the Lord needed him to do. He did what the Lord put the spirit in him to do, man. And the Lord say, even thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. It had to happen, man. This is so hey, this is in the second Ezra 2 and 1 through 6. It's the land. This is the land crying out for us, man. Right? This is the land crying out for us, man. Because we're not in it. And to tell you in first Ezra 4, matter of fact, everything is out of order because we not in order, man. This is first Ezra 4 and 36. It say, all the earth crieth upon the truth, and the heavens blessed it. All the works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. You see, it say, verse 38, reading the point, as for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. Hey, so the earth is crying out, man, because of these devils. The trees, the animals. Hey, when you see signs of animals beating themselves, you know it's a problem, man. So this is let's get this. This is Jeremiah. Hey, but it's okay, man. It's okay. We coming out of this real soon, man. This is Jeremiah 50 and 4. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, all 12 tribes, going and weeping. Why weeping? Because we sorrowful, man. Full of sorrow, man. Repenting, man. It say, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh with their power. They shall ask the way of Zion with their faces thitherward. well toward the east, saying, "Come and let us join ourselves to the Lord Yahawashi in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains, all the governments. It said they have gone from mountain to hill, from one government to another, man, one kingdom to another. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them devoured them. Why? Because the Lord let them do it, man. And they violently devoured us, man. And that's why the Lord is sending back Yahawashi to violently take the earth back, man. It say all that found them devoured them, and their adversary said, "We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord," which I read in Jude 5, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. So these devils know they couldn't mess with us, man. They couldn't mess. The only way they can get to us if the Lord wasn't dealing with us, man. This is this is I want to make this point too, because the second Ezra 2 said our mother, man, our mother is crying out for us, man. The earth is crying out for. You got these niggas always talking about back to Africa, all that pan Africanism, all that madness, man. We ain't from Africa, man. We had a whole life before we had to flee into Africa, man. This is Galatians 4 and 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. And that's what I was reading, Second Ezra 2 and 1, man. Jerusalem, the land crying out, the earth crying out, man, because we're on the bottom. And now we don't have no sense. We had to run out of Jerusalem. We don't have no certain dwelling place, man. But we seeking one to come. This is these devils violently took us, man. So Yahweh shall come back and do the same. So let me read. I got a couple more precepts. I ain't want to make this too long. This is First Maccabees 2 and 10. First Maccabees 2 and 7. It reads, it say, he said, "Woe is me." This is talking about Mattathias. He said, "Woe is me. Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people?" First Maccabees 2 and 7. And of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers. Her temple is become as a man without glory, right? A heathens, man. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity, which you can, that's in Joel 3. Her infants are slain in the streets, which I was reading in Lamentations 2. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. Verse 10 reads, "What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?" Every nation had a hand on us, man. Why? Because of disobedience, man. All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a bond slave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, like it's in Lamentation. Our beauty was cast down to the earth. It said, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer, man? Hey, why would you want to live when you can't be in your kingdom, man? We're on the bottom, man. Everything is messed up. Well, this is their punishment, man. Hey, but Yahushua is violently coming back to take the earth, man. Who the world in called Jesus Christ is coming back violently, man. He ain't coming back with roses and candy and hugs, man. He's coming back violently to take the earth, man. This is Isaiah 1 and 7. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. You see, But it's okay, man. This is Baruch. This is October 3. Hey, cause Yahawashi coming back with vengeance, man. It reads, Then I being grieved did weep, and in my sorrow prayed, saying, O Lord, Yahweh thou art just, in all thy works, in all thy ways are mercy and truth, and thy judges truly and justly forever. And thy judges truly and justly forever. Remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorances, and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before thee. For they obey not thy commandments. Wherefore thou hast delivered us for a spoil, and unto captivity, and unto death, and for a proverb of reproach to all the nations among whom we are dispersed, man. We are dispersed in all these nations, man. The Lord let these devils violently, man, violently take us away, man. This is this is Hebrews 11, and I'm gonna start at 9. Hebrews 11:9. It reads, Hebrews 11:8. It say, by faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whether he went. And that's faith, man. That's belief. We don't need to know how or when. We know Yahweh Shema was going to do it, man. It say, by faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whether he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is power. Yahweh Shema Shah. It's a um jumping down to verse 12, verse 11 talking about Sarah. Verse 12 say, therefore sprang there everyone, even of one. Matter of fact, verse 11, it say, through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith. Listen, these all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth, man. And that's us right now today, man. We are still strangers and pilgrims on the earth because we are not in our land, man. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country, which we are. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is, in heavenly, wherefore power is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city. And this we waiting on, man. And Yahweh is going to bring the elect to that city, man. This is our second Ezra 8 and 52. It reads, for unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom, man. This is Hebrews 13 and 14. It reads, for it's a Hebrews 13 and 14. For here, Babylon the Great and scattered around the world. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And it's coming, man. Let's get this. I'm gonna close with this. Revelation 19. It's Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And you can see this in that movie 300, man. When this guy, when the messenger of Xerxes came to Leonidas and he held up all the kings with their crowns of the nation that he conquered, man. Well, that's Yahawashi, man. It say, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. He was clothed with a vessel dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Power. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty. Right? This is verse 19. It reads, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken. Who is the beast? EU, NATO, and North America, Babylon the Great. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. It say, with which he deceived them that received the mark of the beast and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Right? So the Heavenly Father Yahweh is finna send his son back to violently take back the earth, man. This is Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Who? Yahawashi, man. He is Savior. He saves. He delivers, man. Wherefore I thou red and not apparel. We just read this in Revelation 19. And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people that was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see? And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my glory it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. You see, I will mention the loving kindness of the Lord Yahweh and the praise of the Lord Yahweh according to all that the Lord have bestowed on us and the great goodness toward the house of Israel, which he have bestowed on them according to his mercies and according to the multitude of the loving kindness of his loving kindness. It say verse 8, for he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their savior. In all their afflictions, he was afflicted, and the anger and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity, he redeemed them, and he bare them and carried them all the days of old. Yeah, how about Shema Shah, man? Hey, all we got to do is maintain and stay focused, man. Maintain and stay focused, man. That's all we got to do. Oh, let's get this. This is Daniel's chapter 8 and 17, and it reads, it's like in Daniel 7 and 18. It say, read 17. It say, these great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever even forever, man. You see, all we got to do is just stay grounded, stay prayed up, man. Pray to Yahawashi Shai that they increase your wisdom, knowledge, understanding, your faith, your belief, man, to increase your strength to endure, man. Hey, so Lord willing, this is edifying. Got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all our pushing this truth and believing this truth to the full measure of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. Shalom to that world who are listening and learning. Let me read this again. It say, Job 20:19, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he had desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his good. In the fullness of his sufficiency, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You see, when he is about to fill his belly, it say, power, Yahweh Shemawashah, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. They shall violently be taken away. The same violence they brought to the earth, man. That's the same violence Yahweh Shemawashah going to destroy these devils with, man. And tell you in Psalm 37, his sword shall enter into his own heart, man. His same snares and traps and gins these devils have set up for us all our life, man. These devils gonna the same way, man. You got it's just a double portion, man. The same traps this nigga set for us, man. The Lord got his traps 100 times worse, man. He shall violently be taken from the earth, man. You ain't gonna die in your sleep. Wah, blah, blah, blah.